it is. There it is. Hopefully it works. Wonderful. Yay. Okay. Let's clear and ground the energies. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hello and welcome to ArcanaUniverse. This is going to be Sagittarius, August 2025 energy forecast reading. All right, ready? You guys ready? As a friendly reminder, this is a general reading, so only take what resonates. We do have cross watchers, so roles can be reversed, but you will know if this is your story and which side you are on. All of my readings are timeless, so know that you found it at the perfect time. Feel free to check out the playlist portion of this channel for your tarot today, monthly and yearly readings as well. Right. And as a friendly reminder, this is a general reading, even though I'm great at what I do, so it may feel personal. If you're looking for a personal, all of that information can be found in the description of this video. Otherwise, you know, whether you are a Sagittarius sun, moon, rising, Venus, stellium, dealing with a Sagittarius, or if you just happen to be in here, it is no coincidence, okay? There may be a message here for you. Wow. Okay. So, you know, right off the bat, I'm picking up on an energy that has been through a lot, like specifically heartbreak and betrayal energy is what I'm seeing here. And this person has been trying to pick themselves back up from this kind of energy because they understand that they deserve love, that they deserve to be treated with the same amount and level of love that they're putting out as well. Like that's love is reciprocal and it's not going to feel one-sided. And so this person understands that, you know, in the past, it wasn't like that. It really did feel one-sided, and that only one person was willing to work things out. And I am getting like a lot of like deceitful energy. So somebody here was dealing with a liar, and they just had a tendency to just do whatever they please, even though it may not have been full of like integrity. And somebody here was just trying to buy time. It was like something they were not ready for real, true love, healthy love. And so I'm picking up on somebody here that is just trying to walk away from anything that is toxic or drama ridden. They want to find peace. They want to find somebody that doesn't stress them out, and it just feels, you know, someone to come home to, someone to relax with, because it's like just being there, okay? Somebody just wants somebody to be there for them through the thick and thin. And they don't want something short term, they want something long term, and they're willing to look for this, to find this and search for it through the highs and lows of, like, you know, short or far, wherever this energy is, they feel like they know this person is out there. They feel this like destined pull is what I'm seeing here, okay? Hello, Patrick. Hey, how are you? Are well, yeah, or how, yeah. Welcome back, Patrick. Welcome back. So, what else? What else? What's the advice coming through? So, because somebody here was not making, like they were kind of at a crossroads, they were not necessarily making a decision, right? Oh, good to see you too. Glad to see you. Yes. So, the advice coming through. Hello, Amar. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so the advice coming through is I see that somebody here was not making a decision because they, like, once they make a decision, they're going to commit to it. So it's like they don't want to make it hastily, is what I'm seeing here. And so at this time, this person has been focusing on their work, their craft, whatever this is that is not romance related. Okay, they were trying to focus on stuff outside of that because they, at least they knew that they can focus however much energy that they could into that connection. And so at least somebody here was utilizing their time and energy productively while they were trying to focus, or trying not to focus, or at least being given the time to make a firm decision without distractions, or at least controlled distractions, or productive distractions. Because it's just like, somebody here realized they can't just be focusing on one aspect of their life while they're neglecting everything else. And so at least somebody here was being productive during this very difficult time. And so, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and do the spinny spin portion. And so by the time we finish the spinny spin, if we get 9 more likes, then we will do all signs. That is essentially 12 additional messages from Aries through Pisces. Good luck. All right. 1 and a 2 and a self. Oh, that's pretty self. Here, one more. Is it self? Advice. Okay. Advice from self. Okay, so somebody here wants to connect with their higher self. And so let's see what we have here. Higher self. I'm getting somebody here needs a little loving from their higher self. Okay. I'm picking up on an energy that has been like secluding themselves. Okay. They're trying to hush the outside voices so that they can have a clear voice. Okay. So this energy that's coming through, okay, may have a strong earth energy, or maybe dealing with somebody with strong earth energy. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and their sun, moon, rising, or Venus. But yeah, they've been almost being like a workaholic. So the self is trying to acknowledge that, like, we see you, like that kind of energy. Like, you've been putting in the work, this energy has been putting in the work, and like trying to be focused and dedicated, and not give energy and attention to those who doesn't deserve it. Because somebody here is really embracing their self-worth at this point after so much abuse through the years. Like, other people telling this energy like you're not good enough, or like there's something lacking, or etc. But when that is not the reality, that is not what I'm seeing here. If anything, somebody here is very powerful, confident. It's like whatever they put their mind to, they're the type of person to go after it. And they're not only that, they also care. They're very like generous with their time and energy. And it's almost like they want to stick up for the little guy, or like the person that doesn't have a voice, okay? And it really has to do with the fact that somebody here is spiritually connected, and they want to do the right thing, and not just like for themselves but collectively as well. So I'm picking up on somebody here who has like community in mind, or some sort of like institution or foundation. Like they want, it's like a movement. I feel like it's a almost like a spiritual movement as well. Like I'm getting where nobody gets left behind. Okay. So what's the advice? So as mentioned, I'm picking up on an energy where it's like they are, somebody here is trying to bring this energy down. Like they want to make them seem like they're not as powerful, or they don't have the strength and the smarts. Okay, somebody here like really is a mental abuser. Okay, so dealing with somebody that is like really uses psychology to f with somebody's mind, like that kind of, like somebody plays dirty. And this the advice is stay away from this energy, okay? Stay away. And because we do have both sides listening in, if you know that this is the person, if you're this person that is doing mind games and stuff, it's just like God wants to emphasize, hey, isn't that kind of exhausting? You know, doing all of these mental gymnastics for what? So that somebody here can be manipulative and a liar, and try to get away with things? It's just, how exhausting is that? So I also see here that the person doing all this, it's, well, they have motivation. There's a reason why they do that, because for them it's, I'm getting somebody's poor. Okay, somebody's poor. Somebody here is in like survival mode and etc. So for them, it's kind of like they got nothing to lose, because they, if they don't pursue this, or they think that if they don't do this, then they are going to be. It's it's like they are going to be poor, like that kind of thing. Hello, Deal Farrell. Hey, girl. So, additional advice, because this is pretty heavy. This is pretty heavy. It's saying stop feeding. It's kind of like giving this example of like a spoiled child. It's just because they throw tantrums, just because they lie and twist somebody's words or what have you to try to get that candy, or try to get whatever it is. They make a scene, they make do all of these things just to get what they want. And so what do you do when when somebody is dealing with somebody like this? Okay, do we just give in and give them what they want? I think that's a hell no, right? Oh, so it's saying there's something to be said about distancing oneself from this kind of energy. It's just like we can't feed the monster. We can't just keep letting it do what it wants it to do. It's just, we gotta cut the source. We gotta cut the source. It's just like You know, what would you do if you knew that there was a cure for like venomous or parasite like energies, you know? It starts with taking the source, what they feed off of, okay? So whether this, you'll know how this applies to an area of your life, but where it just feels like somebody here is being taken advantage of, and they want to stop this kind of behavior. What do? You stop the source, okay? All right. And don't just talk about doing it, like actually do it. Actually do it. And start pouring that love and energy and care back to oneself, because, you know, it says a lot. If somebody has endured abuse like this, then that means they're technically have been neglecting themselves because they didn't stand up for themselves while they were being mistreated. Of course, there's an extent. Of course, we want to give people the benefit of the doubt and to give them chances. But if it's to the point where it's consistent enough that somebody is hurting, okay, we need to be able to nip things at the bud and all of that. You know, we have to. We can't let it affect the rest of our life and our happiness and our abundance. Okay? So, all right. So we need 5 more likes. I'm going to count to 10. I'm going to count to 10. And if we reach that, then we'll get 12 additional messages. And let's do it. And 10, 9, 8. I always find that's a perfect time to take a little water break. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we didn't meet it, but what do you think, God? Do you think? Yeah, we'll give him one more spinny spin. All right. For those who did like it, and for those, you know, we'll see. All right. Okay. All right. What else do we need to know? 1 and a 2 and a. That was a short one. Love. Oh, somebody wants to know more about love. Okay. Love, love, love. Well, I'm getting, well, for starters, fed up energy. Okay, I'm getting fed up. Okay. So somebody here was dealing with like who they felt was like their soulmate and all of that, but they, like, through time they realized that there was some level of distance. Like it's no longer what it used to be, and it's almost like every time, like where somebody should feel at home when it comes to a connection, they started being more defensive. Like somebody here started like lashing out, or when they became unhappy, instead of like talking about it and trying to resolve it, somebody here had a tendency to bottle it up to the point where it just became toxic, and they started lashing out and getting very, like, I'm getting like emotional, like it was like a hurricane kind of thing. It was just like When it was bad, it was really, really bad. And it created a lot of like stress. And so somebody here, they realize they don't deserve somebody like to be around somebody like this who has no control of their emotions and what they are. Like they're not able to work on this together. And even though it was very difficult to stand up for oneself, to stand up to this kind of behavior, somebody here felt like no, like they actually chose their happiness, their safety, their well being to cut themselves away from this toxic energy. Wow. Woo! Get it! Woo, woo, woo. Wow. Wow. Whoever did that, good job. That gets an applause. That gets an applause from me. Okay. So, what I'm seeing here is like, so there is this feeling of like being able to see things a little bit more clearly now, because I see here like the past, it just felt so blurry, or like it just didn't, things didn't seem so clear, and there was a lot of like feeling of things being up in the air, and if somebody here was making the decision, the right decision and all of that. But through some level of logic, kind of leaving the emotional aspect, the nostalgia out of it, somebody here was able to see things a little bit more clearly and actually listen to themselves. What is their higher self telling them? What is their mind, body, and soul trying to tell them? Is it stressing out because somebody here is not doing their part? So, somebody here really took initiative to bringing some level of balance when it comes to their spirituality and growth, and they really cut people out of their life, people, places, or things that really didn't care about them, but instead was caring about themselves. So now they're somebody here, when it comes to their love, they're trying to focus on those who actively wants to be part of this connection. It's almost like they'll do whatever it takes to be in that connection, like that kind of energy. And it's saying, it's not always going to be easy, coming together. Sometimes it takes effort. There may be other outside influences involved that can hinder this connection from like forming due to some level of obstacles or challenges or delays. But that doesn't mean like somebody here shouldn't go for it, especially if it does have this like wonderful, beautiful energy. Okay. Any advice or anything else? I'm getting somebody here that is going to be coming out of their hermit mode, hermit energy, coming out of their shell and trying to take action, being more assertive, uh, even if they've been hurt in the past. Okay, I'm picking up on an energy that wants to have a fresh, new beginning. Like they want to travel lightly, they don't want to bring forward things from the past, baggage from the past. They don't want to do that because they understand that what didn't work out in the past is meant to stay in the past. Okay. And somebody here, because they are so clear now, they're so clear about the circumstances now and how they're what they do now and the perspectives and the things that they do, their consistency, their discipline, their loyalty towards oneself as well, to making sure that they are putting themselves in healthy, nourishing environments, you know, that's ultimately that mindset alone is going to be what's the success. Okay, I see a lot of success coming through, and when we do that, when we have that self-love, self healthy kind of love, we're able to recognize what true love is as well. Okay, there you are. So as mentioned, somebody here is in the transitional period of coming out of their hermit mode and getting themselves back out there. And so I am getting something about finances, okay? If somebody here uh hasn't been if their finances needs attention, okay, don't don't neglect that as well, okay. It's not, it's like it's going to be very hard to love. I mean, you know, money comes and goes, but if somebody here is tight on funds, or you know, they understand that there's some level of time sensitivity, okay, of like not making sure to not neglect certain financial responsibilities, it's strongly recommending like don't neglect that responsibility, because that is also part of self-love, not neglecting those aspects of your life. um, yeah, okay. So anything else? Anything else? Oh, look at that. No, that is it. Okay, for those of you who needs to be reminded again, like, you know, don't forget to like this video and feel free to replay it until it's like ingrained in you, so it comes naturally to you, okay? And as you guys know, all of my readings are timeless. So feel free to check out the playlist portion for all of your readings. And so whatever you're called to, you know, watch, it is no coincidence, okay? All right, so thank you again for being here and for tuning in, for, you know, doing your part in a sense, right? Oh, thank you. Patrick wrote, it was a cool reading. Yeah. Right, we're learning, right? And it's great. This is amazing. So, yeah, thank you again. And I'll talk to you guys later.